Okay, I'm still working on getting this, both my feeds going here, so just be patient with me for just a moment, but we're going to go live here in just a second. Actually, should be live already. And we'll be interviewing Solomon Baidoo. Solomon is from Ghana, and I need to get this up here and give him a call, see if we can get connected. So this can be a little sketchy with him, but as soon as we can get this up and going, we will do this. Something went wrong. Why does this always happen? I hate this. Okay, try it again. Something went wrong. Oh boy, I tell you. Let's try this one more time. Trying it again. It says it's calling, so we're gonna try it and see what happens. So this can be a little sketchy because of where he's at in Ghana, but it'll be interesting. I think there's some really good information here for y'all. Hey Solomon, can you hear me? Yeah, Solomon, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, but the video, can you see me? I am making a request. I am making a video request, so you can accept it, and we can have a video conversation.
Well, I keep hitting accept, but it's not doing it. Maybe now. Try it one more time. We got disconnected. This happens often. We'll try it one more time. Appreciate y'all being patient with this, by the way. Hi Marjorie, good to see you, by the way. And it looks like we're not connecting here. Okay, so just be patient with me. I'm going to send him a message right now. I'm going to say, hey, you call me. So Solomon, if you're watching on the program, you call me. So we'll see if that works. Maybe we can accept it the other way. We just did this literally, and it worked out good, and we had a good connection. Let's see if this works. Not doing it. That is just crazy. Just crazy. Try it one more time, Solomon, if you can hear me. Give us a call back if you can hear it. Okay. He says he's working on it. I really want you guys to hear what Solomon has to say. One more time, we'll give it a shot. This worked beautifully. I mean, literally just 20 minutes ago. Solomon, give you a little preview of what's going on here. He said, so I'm accepting the call. And It's not going to do it. Okay, we're going to have to try this one more time. Okay, we're calling too many times. Let's try this again. One right after the other usually doesn't work. Okay, Solomon, I'm going to have to try calling you. Again, I am so sorry, guys. Technology. Let me do this. I'm going to try calling you. So, see, Solomon is 5 hours ahead of us. So, his time, it's almost 11 o'clock. Let's do it this way. See if he answers here.
Hello?
Okay, so we got you on audio.
Yeah. But I wanted a video call instead.
It's not working on my end. And now we have no video.
Okay.
But we got a good connection. You just want to just do an audio call here, or do you want to try it one more time for video?
Yeah, let's try it one more time, for video, and let's see if it's gonna work.
Okay, I'm going to hang up, and then I'll call you back. That seems to be working. Okay. So just go ahead and hang up, and then I'll call you back. Okay. Now, I'm going to try this again. So give this just a second to clear the line. See if this one works. I keep saying something went wrong. That is nuts. That is just crazy. I don't understand that. Well, it looks like we can't get audio. For some reason. This interview we're going to have to do, I mean, we can get audio, but we can't get video. This interview we're going to have to do in sections because he can only talk for a very short period of time due to the way their system is set up in Africa. So, no, it's not working. I don't understand it, so it's still not working. Okay, so we're just gonna have to do audio. And I appreciate you guys being patient with this. So, okay. Wow. We will get this straightened out. I may have to edit this video. Okay, let's try this one more time. Okay, so we're just going to have to do audio, and I'll see if I can...
Hello?
Okay, we got audio, but we can't get video for some reason. I don't know what's going on. So if we can just take it...
But how come, I was able to, reach you on, video call, what I called at first, but After setting up, your system, it's not working. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand that either. But what we're going to do, just for now, while we've already got everything set up, let's let me pull this up here. Let's go ahead and find a good picture of you. That way I can put it up here. People can see. So I think this is a good picture here. So I'll transition to this. So this is Solomon, guys. So I want you to say hey to him, and let's see if we can make this maybe make this bigger here. I don't know if that really works very good. But Solomon is from Ghana, and that's right. I'm right about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Ghana, West Africa.
From West Africa. And we will figure out the video thing, and we will get it squared away. How much time do you think we have on audio?
Yeah, probably 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes or so? Okay. Well, let's just get right into it. Guys, Solomon has recently come to understand eschatology from a fulfilled standpoint. That means he's a preterist. Preterist being defined as someone who believes that all things have been fulfilled. And that means all prophecy. So Solomon, let's just get right into this, and let's look at let's hear real quick in a nutshell, and we'll continue this interview sometime in the close future when we can get a better connection, get things figured out. It has to be on Facebook's end of it. But so what made you come to this idea that Jesus has already returned and all things have been fulfilled?
All right. Thank you for the question, and thank you for this interview. As you said, my name is Solomon, Solomon Baidoo. I'm in Ghana in West Africa. All right. Assistant, Roy Ryan was my friend. In fact, both of us were futurists. I think a year ago we were all futurists. So at some point in time, he set up a Facebook, Church of Christ, Facebook, group. So I was a member of that group. We used to, post stuff saying, we used to read, stuff saying. In fact, we used to interact a lot. So at some point in time, I realized that, it was posting some strange things, in a group, things that were contrary to our futurist view. So initially I was reluctant, I didn't want to, bother to read them because, I was like, well, whatever it is, we are in the Church of Christ and we are saved. So none of this stuff really bother me. We used to have another friend called Jim Crews. In fact, he was in Texas. I've forgotten the name of his congregation, but I quite remember he was in Texas. So at some point in time, Jim called me and he said, "Well, Roy is now teaching that Christ has already come, and he doesn't, agree with him." Well, then I said, "Well, whether Christ has returned or not, that is none of my business, because I believe that Christ has not come. I held a futurist view back then. So, well, if Roy is teaching that Christ has come, I have no problem with that." Now, Jim, so we concluded, that conversation. 3 days later, he called me and he said, "Well, Roy, he has warned Roy to, stop, posting that stuff. And Roy, isn't heeding to his, warning or ultimatum or whatever."
So hang on a second. Okay. You're talking about Roy Runyon, right?
Yeah, Roy Runyon.
How long ago? How long ago do you think that was?
I think it should be probably 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, now Jim Crews came back again, and in fact, we were we were close friends. I used to, Jim used to, support my ministry. Yeah, occasionally, once in a while, he used to support me. So in fact, we were friends, and we were going on, moving on up, and so like, so he said, well, he has spoken with Roy to, stop, posting, you know, things relating to covenant eschatology. In fact, at that time, I didn't know even what that is about, because it was new to me. In fact, prayerism is that word. I didn't even know what that word is. I have never even heard that word before. So, Jim confronted me again that, well, he has told Roy to stop going that direction, and then Roy is insisting that he's not going to do that. So at one, there was a day I held in fact, I had a private conversation with Roy as usual, and I questioned him what is it that he had been posting. So there he told me, well, this is what is happening, this is what is going on. He has now come to the realization that Christ has come, and that this our geophysical material creation isn't going to be destroyed in sometime in the future.
Right.
So what I said, well, this you and I are aware that according to, so that, in fact, that is where we place our eschatology on, especially the 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10 to 12. You and I know that when Christ comes, this whole material creation is going to burn up. So upon what basis are you now telling me that this is all false, idea? Okay, so we had a conversation on. So we came to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Then I said, well, Roy, when Christ comes, this is what is going to take place. We are going to have reanimation of the dead from the grave. They are going to come out of their grave. Then the living saints will to the living saint together with the reconstituted decomposed body. We are going to fly up to the sky to meet our Lord there. We are going to stay with him.
It's a rapture.
So if it's go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just the Church of Christ teaches a rapture, so they don't admit it, but that's what they do.
Yeah, no. Let me. You see, unlike the premillennialists and the dispensationalists, and Church of Christ, we actually do not teach. We do not teach rapture, but we believe that when Christ comes, there's going to be destruction of those universe, those planets.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is what is going to happen. Unlike the premillennialists, they believe that Christ is going to come and pick up the saints with him and take them to heaven, and they are going to reign there for 1,000 years, after which he is going to return with the saints and set up a physical kingdom on this planet, and he's going to reign from there. So we Church of Christ, the mainstream Church of Christ, the Amel, that is what they believe. But that is what I was taught. That is what I was made to understand, that this is what is going to come. When Christ comes, everything is going to be destroyed, and then that is all. There wouldn't be restoration of this physical creation. So
right.
Roy took me through the text. So that is where he began teaching me the audience relevance, that these things were not to be experienced by us or in future, the future generation, but it was to the first century church. They were to experience this event firsthand. Okay, then we can perhaps do secondary application by understanding the primary application to those to whom the letters were written to. So I said, okay, well, audience relevance, seems to make sense here. So from there, I started studying on my own because I wanted to understand what is going on. So, well, I am not a certified preacher, but I believe God has, blessed me,
right.
With some abilities to understand the scripture. So in no time, I started, writing my own articles in relation to covenant eschatology. So initially, I was afraid to, post it, and even post it on my page. or to post it in, Roy's group, because I know when Jim Crews, the preacher from Texas.
So
I know.
Hey Solomon, let me ask you this question here.
Okay.
Kind of for clarification for our audience, for the listeners. So essentially, you're a member of the Church of Christ.
Yeah. I'm a member of Church of Christ.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are receiving support from at least one person in the Church of Christ, if not more. I don't know.
Yeah, in Texas. Yeah, it was once a while. It was maybe once a month. Then you give me something little to support my congregation. See, my congregation is in the village, it's in the rural area in Ghana here. So sometimes you struggle a little bit with finances. So Roy has also been supportive ever since. He has also been helping my congregation. In fact, the congregations are. I am, running two congregations, so sometimes things becomes a bit difficult. So, when I made friends with them, in fact, I was happy because at some point in time I realized that they are helping my congregation here. So,
but you lost that support, I imagine.
Come again?
You lost that support, I imagine.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. In fact, that is what I'm, explaining.
Once you said, I'm just going to follow the truth, you lost that support. That says a lot about a man how he feels about the truth, guys. So
now, so like I was saying, when I realized the truth, or the realities of the scriptures, especially with eschatology, in fact, I began studying on my own because I didn't want to follow people. In fact, I wanted to study on my own and to understand what is going on, before liaising with people to better understand more. So I began studying on my own and I began writing articles on my own. So when I finished writing this article, then I will private message it to Roy, to go through it. Then, he was like, you are doing well. But one thing I was afraid of was to, post it on my Facebook wall or to post it in Roy's group, because Jim Crews was a friend then, and he was also an affiliate to Roy's group. So like already he has warned me, not to follow Roy, and that he gave me an ultimatum that in fact at some point in time he told me that if I don't befriend, if I don't unfriend Roy, in fact he's going to withdraw support. So all this while, in fact I knew Roy has told me the truth. At least per my own studies, I knew, it is the truth that I've been told. Because all my studies, confirmed that indeed there's truth in covenant eschatology, the whole doctrine of, or the idea of covenant eschatology, there's truth in that. So I was afraid and...
Let me say this real quick, Solomon. I'll interrupt you here every once in a while, just so I think I can clarify some things for our listeners. Covenant eschatology, guys, teaches that Jesus meant what he said. When he said, I'm going to come back in your generation, there'll be people alive standing here that will see it. That's what covenant eschatology is. We believe...
Yeah, teaches.
Yeah. We believe that Jesus meant what he said. Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Now,
when I came to the understanding of audience relevant based on 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, then I also realized that, Jesus said that the event of Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 to 3, and verse 29 to 31 is going to take place in that generation. See, those who stood in his audience is going to, take place in that particular generation.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says.
Yeah. That's the verse 34. Then I said, this is audience relevant because Jesus wasn't addressing me. The Bible actually wasn't written to me, but it was written for me. So I can't read myself into an ancient text because I wasn't there. So if this is what Jesus meant, and this event, including the parousia, the verse 29 to 31 of Matthew chapter 24, talks about the parousia, the gathering, that is resurrection and judgment. So if this is what, and it's parallel, to Matthew chapter 16, verse 27 to 28. So if this is what Jesus meant, then let the Bible interpret itself. So from there, I began to, come to the understanding of what covenant eschatology is. So like I said, in fact, I began producing my own articles, writing my own articles, and all this while I kept it to myself. In fact, I didn't want to bring it to the public domain for fear that James Crew will see it and he will, unfriend me. And once he unfriends me, it means I'm going to, suffer some, financial support. So
Right.
I was just afraid to do that.
Let me interrupt. Speaking of unfriending, let me interrupt you here real quick. Guys, I put a link to Solomon's Facebook account in the comments. I pinned it, so it should be the first one. But if not, look through there. Go to Solomon's page and send him a friend request. Solomon is a great guy. I mean, anyone who's willing to stand for the gospel and put his financial future on the line for preaching the gospel, that says a lot. This man, he knows what he's talking about. He has studied. He has seen the truth. And he certainly deserves a friend request. Whether you agree with him or not, you will be blessed to know this man. So send him a friend request. It's right there, or you can search it in your search bar on Facebook. Okay, Solomon, go ahead. I wanted to give you a plug real quick.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now, this is what happened. So James Crew came back to me again. Then he told me that, well, Roy had gotten out of hand, and that, this is what he's going to ask me to do. I have to choose between because he has realized that I am rich. In fact, I've been liking Roy's, articles. Like whenever he writes and posts, his articles in his group, I've been liking it. So he has realized that in fact I am rich Roy. Then he called Roy, a false prophet. A false teacher. So
wow.
He told me that, well, I have to choose between the two, whether I unfriend Roy and denounce him publicly, calling him a heretic or, a false teacher, and continue being a friend with him, or he blocks me so that I can continue with Roy. So in fact, I was in a dilemma. It was a difficult decision for me to make. But So I said, well, I was a friend with Roy long ago before you came, and I don't see anything wrong with what Roy is teaching. So let me ask you. So I posed a question to him. I told him that, well, if you're able to answer my question, then I'm going to obey your command. I'm going to unfriend Roy and I'm going to follow you. So I told him that, well, then I quoted Matthew chapter 24, verse 23. In fact, I posed that, text to him to explain to me whether Christ, lied, that the disciples, will not be going through all the cities in Jerusalem before Christ comes. And he was like, well, so when I posed that question to him, for 2 good days, it was, I see him online, and I've been, pressing him on to, answer the question, and he wasn't doing that. So when I realized that he wasn't doing that, then I posed another question. I told him that, well, has the kingdom come? Then he said, yes, the kingdom has come, and the kingdom is the church of Christ. I said, okay, well, now let's go to Matthew chapter 24, Matthew chapter 16, and verse 27 to 28. So he opened there and we read. Then I said, well, how do you exegete this text, especially the verse 20? The verse 27 talks about the judgment, which is a quote from Isaiah chapter 62, verse 11, Isaiah chapter 40, verse 10. Then we jumped on to the verse 28, which talks about the parousia and the kingdom. Then I said, well, this is also a quote from Daniel chapter 7, verse 13 to 14. Then I told him that, well, this is what Jesus said. The time of the kingdom is the time of the parousia, and the time of the parousia is the time of judgment. The time of judgment is the time of resurrection. And Jesus posited the consummation of all these, three concurrent events in that generation. So I asked James Crew, were you part of the the audience to whom Jesus told this
He didn't like that, did he?
told them this? There he couldn't also answer. He didn't answer my question, even though he believed that the kingdom has come. Then I told him that then why are you honoring the existence of the kingdom and divorcing it from the parousia and the judgment? He couldn't also answer me that question. Then I said, okay, hold on, let's go back. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1, whereby we have 4 concurrent events: the parousia, the kingdom, the judgment, and resurrection. Then I said, well, James Crew, you and I believe that the kingdom has come. And Jesus Christ, linked, this four events together. So you can't, honor one and divorce the three from it.
Right.
So at some point in time, while he was getting convinced, he said, no. Now he has also realized that I have become a Roy's, disciple. I'm also teaching falsely, and that he's praying for me that I change the errors of my ways so that I'll come to the scriptural reality. Then I said, okay, well, help me to understand. I've asked you lots of questions, so you just tell me, just answer my questions, and if you're able to answer my question to convince me, I will renounce Roy and to follow you. And he couldn't do that, so eventually, he has to block me. Then I said, okay, no problem, you can go, but I will, I will continue with Roy because I believe that the truth is coming out, and I can't deny the truth. So, I can't truncate the truth. I can't, mask the truth. I can't blend the truth with, something. Futurism. So I chose the path of, prayerism. So from there, Roy also had a bleak, outlook. In fact, when the church, he used to teach in a certain congregations, they also, kicked him out because because they also said that he was being a false teacher. But most of the congregations were futurist congregation, and unfortunately, see, we in Africa, we believe that the whites are clever. In fact, the whites are clever and they are listening people. So in fact, I was shocked when I realized that these white congregations have actually kicked Roy out, because I thought they are going to give him some time, give him some chance. They're going to chance him to, explain himself why he thinks, Christ has come and judgment and resurrection has taken place. Okay, but when I realized that he was, kicked out without, giving him chance to defend himself, I was like, well, I never knew this is how, how the white can also do. All right, so from there, I began reading further. Now let me tell you this.
Okay.
You see, there was a time you sent me a friend request, and I accepted your request. Now, along the line, you posted a video and you tagged me in, and you were kind of like pleading with the futurist congregation to allow the prayers to, be in their midst.
Yeah, I remember
There was a video like very good. So when that was the video that got me blocked by Jim Crew. Jim realized that once Jim saw that I have been tagged in that video, he said, well, now I have also gotten out of hand. So that was when Roy blocked me. Then I said, James Crew blocked me. Then I told him that, well, I don't even know what this man is talking about, because in fact, you just sent a friend request and I accepted you. I didn't even know you then. So I said, no, I don't even know I don't even know John Watson properly. I'm not well acquainted with him. In fact, we just met as he just sent a friend request and I accepted it. And so what he was even, speaking in a video. I have no idea what is, going on. I don't know what covenant eschatology is. In fact, that was my initial acquaintance, so I wasn't well abreast of. So I said, well, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what covenant eschatology. I don't know what prayerism is. In fact, I just have no idea. So you can't block me based on this video. Then I said, okay, you hold on. I'm going to block you. So that was the time I blocked you, so that I will not be receiving such videos. Okay. So
you got in trouble because of me. Wow.
So I told him that, okay, you hold on, I'm going to block this guy. For Roy, it was difficult for me to block him because he has been a friend for a very long time. In fact, he was actually even my first friend, first quiet, Church of Christ preacher friend I had. So I said, Roy, it's difficult for me to do that. But for John Watson, well, I don't know him. I don't know what he's even talking about. I just, since I have no idea what he's talking about, I don't even care about what he was saying. He said, no, you are following this man. So I said, okay, well, hold on, I'm going to block him. So that was when I blocked you.
Yeah.
Okay, so when after this man, went out among us, I told Roy to try to tell you that I have, blocked you. In fact, at that juncture, I have now come to the realities of the scriptures, especially, with eschatology. So I told him to tell you that you should send me a friend request again, because I used to watch your videos and your discussions and debates. So I said you should tell you.
I remember that.
Send me a friend request again, and it was difficult, to do that. So all this while I've been trying all hard to get you a friend request so that you can become a friend again, but it wasn't working. So during recently the Indianapolis, is that the name? That lectureship, is that the name, Indianapolis or Indianapolis?
You had it right, Indianapolis.
Yeah. So I told him that Roy was nominated to speak. So I told him to tell you to send me a friend request so that you can become a friend. So when Roy returned, I asked him, did you tell him to do that? He said, well, I should go to a certain page to unblock you. So I went there and I unblocked you, and you became a friend again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was actually your video that got me blocked by James Crew, because he realized that I was fast growing in prayerism. So the best thing for him to do, he doesn't want to be corrupted. In fact, he called us a false teacher. I said, actually, you see, at some point in time, he called me a false teacher. I said, well, I have no problem with that. But why is a true preacher finding it hard to answer a question from a false teacher? You're a true teacher. I'm a false teacher, but you have not been able to answer my question from the scriptures. So how is that possible? So that is just by the way. So from there, I began studying on my own. Then came in Kenneth Rooster. I think he is in West Virginia. Kenneth Rooster also came in. Then came in Don Kay. Then I think William Bell also came in, and I began studying until I became well acquainted with what covenant and full prayer race actually mean. So now I'm a full prayer race here. In fact, since becoming a full prayer race, I've been able to, convince one guy here in Ghana, but he's in a different region. In fact, we met some time ago during the debate. William Bell came here and he had a debate with a certain guy. So this guy, whom I have been able to convert, to a full prayer rate, also came, and we spoke today, and we are hoping to start producing the videos, in our local dialect.
That's
because
great.
I believe that people find it, sometimes hard to understand, what you are talking about in the English dialect. So I'm talking about our people here.
Right.
The Ghanaian people.
Okay,
so finding hard to do that. So
that brings up.
But I don't cut you short. I have actually started. I have started posting some videos, I created a YouTube channel and I have begun posting some videos in. But what I want to
So
do is
the
that I want to
YouTube
stop.
channel is in your name?
Yeah, it's in my name. It's in
Just
my name. I
Solomon
have
Baidoo
about
on
four.
YouTube.
Yeah, Solomon Baidoo. You
Baidoo.
tap. Yeah, Solomon Baidoo. Solomon Baidoo.
Okay.
The white pronounce it Baidoo. But it's Baidoo.
It's just an American thing.
Baidoo.
Hey,
They
okay,
pronounce it.
so you brought up a bunch of questions I know people are going to want to have answered. So let me ask you a few questions and you answer these if you have some more time left.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the people for whom you preach at the congregation where you attend and you preach, how have they received this?
Um. Initially, there was some kind of controversy because, like I said, I am the very preacher who had told them about future coming of Christ and this horrible things that is going to take place, based on Second Peter chapter 3, verse 10 to 12. Then, within a twinkle of an eye, I turn around to tell them that, well, that has already taken place. So, my people are they are not well educated. Most of them did not, have a formal education, so to speak. So it was initially difficult, to teach, to bring the understanding to, what I am trying, what the idea that I was trying to, I was promoting. So I, contrived a certain, a model of teaching them, and it worked. So now, they all full prayers. But as I said,
They're all
yeah,
full preterists?
yeah. In fact, none of them, left the congregation.
How many would you say?
Okay, the first congregation we are about 40 people.
Okay.
But we have 25 to 30 active, members.
Right.
And with the second congregation, we are almost 50. And we are about, let's say the active members are about 35. Yeah. So now I've been able to, convince them and bring them to the realities of the scriptures that this is what Jesus meant when he said that this is what the apostle said, this is what the prophet said. See, so now, Father, it's a journey. I keep on studying and I keep on teaching. So I have no problem with them. They have no problem with them.
Okay.
They are cool with
okay.
what I teach. That
Great.
is more reason why I said I want to start producing videos in our local language. Okay, and put them on Facebook page and all the various churches of Christ group in Ghana that are on Facebook. You hope that I'll get people listen to the videos and they may be convinced and change their futurist way into or to full pluralism.
Okay. Well, that leaves me with another question or two. So, what kind of opposition do you have there? I mean, are there other churches of Christ and other Church of Christ preachers in the area? And how are they reacting to that? I mean, I know how they reacted to me here. I just kind of wonder about that with you.
Yeah. Well, as I said, we are in a rural area, but there's a sister congregation, close by. I think it's about 5 minute drive or 10-minute drive from where I have my second congregation. So I have a brother in my congregation that is coming from that village. That he is coming from that village where that congregation is. So at one point in time, he met the preacher and he explained to them. He explained to him that well, this is what I am saying, and he has been made to understand that indeed. And he has I have made him to understand, and he has also believed that in fact what I am teaching is true. So he wants that preacher and me to come together to to come together to study the scriptures. So, well, the preacher accepted it, and in fact, we met. When we met, I answered all his questions, and I answered all his questions with deep, with deeper explanation, and he said, well, he's going to get back to me again, and up till now, he has not returned. Now there is this preacher in Ghana. In fact, the Churches of Christ in Ghana, we have one great preacher. In fact, all of us revere him. But everyone knows him. In fact, all the churches in Ghana here, all the Churches of Christ in Ghana here, respect that preacher. So at some point in time, in fact, I was, he has formed a group, and then I was a member of that group. So he once posted pictures of past dead Churches of Christ preachers in that group.
So he's actually willing to study?
No, wait, I'm coming. So he was trying to honor them. That these are the people who have done a lot for the they began the Churches of Christ in Ghana. They have done a lot, so we have to honor them in something like that. So I asked him a question. Say, where do you think these people are? Those dead people that you have posted, where do you think they are? Then he said, well, they are in paradise. Then I said, okay, well, that is good. They are in paradise. So I posed a question to him. In fact, I did not meet him one-on-one, but it was on Facebook. So I posed a question there, and he answered. I said, well, where do you think these dead people are? Then he told me that, well, they are in paradise. Then I asked him again, okay, well, as we've been saying, Abraham's bosom. I said, okay, well, that is no problem. Then I quoted, I took him to Hebrew chapter 11, verse 10, and then 13, where we were made to understand that even these patriarchs, Abraham, the Isaac, and the Jacobs, they were yearning for the city. They were yearning for the kingdom. In other words, they were yearning for the better resurrection into the kingdom. At that, before the kingdom, they were in paradise. Okay, and they were yearning for this city. They were, looking for the kingdom to come. So their eschatological hope was the inheritance of the kingdom. So I asked him, well, Abraham was in paradise and he was looking for the kingdom. They were looking for a better resurrection. So you and I have the kingdom. So I asked him, is the kingdom a current reality? Then he said, well, yes, the kingdom has come. So I asked him, where do you think these people are? Because that was their hope. Their hope was to, get into the kingdom. Okay, then I quoted, Matthew chapter 8, 9 to 12. Okay, so I said, well, where do you think these people are? Because if the kingdom has come, then where do you think these people are? Then they said, well, probably they should be in the kingdom. Then I said, okay, by what means do you think they are going to be in the kingdom? Because they were before the kingdom, they were in the Hades. Now the kingdom has come.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
You believe that they may be in the kingdom. So I asked him, by what means would they be in the kingdom? He said resurrection. So I asked him, has the resurrection occurred? You understand?
Great.
Has the resurrection occurred?
Great point.
Then from there, he didn't continue the discussion again. So I have come to the realization that the so-called, big preachers in Ghana here actually knows nothing. They actually know nothing. See, and the difficulties I have with them is that they always try to muffle my voice. It's like they always chant, holding discussion with me. But there are a lot of them whom I have had discussion with, not in because of my location, not in person, but on Facebook. Each time they realize that in fact I'm trying to, what I'm saying is true and is convincing, then they will halt discussion with me, and that will be the end.
Let me make a comment real quick. So you said they don't know anything, and I agree with that. But what they actually know is what they've been taught by others, not what
Yeah.
comes from the scriptures. And it's no different here. I don't know how many thousands of miles we are apart, but one thing I know, men are no different no matter what planet, what part of the planet they're on, or the color of their skin, or the background, or their culture. They're all the same.
Yeah.
They will protect what they believe, what they already believe, because they do not want to be wrong. And so we get the same thing here. I have had exactly the same thing. I've had to deal with the same thing. And, we can talk about audience relevance, and you're 100% right about that. But they just look at us like we're speaking, Martian or something, because they don't understand what audience relevance is. They think when it says you or us, that it is talking about you or us today, not the you or the us 2,000 years ago. So you're definitely doing right in pointing that out to them. So yeah, you just keep that up for sure, and they will try every way in the world to silence you, and you take that, Solomon, as a badge of honor, and realize that because they're trying to silence you, that means they can't refute you. So it's just man's nature to shut down and try to silence the person who makes sense. So you make sense in what you're teaching because it's the truth, and they can see it. They're just not willing to admit it.
Yeah.
So there you go. I wanted to say that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I believe we can go ahead to ask your second question. So with oppositions, well, I have not had one-on-one in-person opposition, coming from them, but it's always been on this social media, where social media interactions, that is where they stop, discussion. In fact, I have offered them, the opportunity to, permit me to come to them so that we sit down and, we deliberate, on some of these issues, and, they've thus far turned down my proposal. So that is more reason why, I want to start producing videos and, scatter them, on the internet. And I believe that, they are open-minded people who will view my videos and, understand what I'm teaching. By so doing, I may get some, actually converting into, full pluralism.
Well, you have really done something there without question, and I tell you just from experience, I'm about let me think, 3 years I think into this, something like that. So this is it's been a real interesting ride because it really wasn't very long ago that I was teaching like you. The Lord is going to return. I was preaching 2 Peter 3 as the end of the earth and so forth, and it hurts your credibility with the people who aren't willing to study. But those who are willing to study, they look at it and they say to themselves, "He's right." And if he's strong enough to change, in spite of all of the opposition, then I can do it too. So you just keep doing what you're doing, and you be a good example for people, and you are, to make that change. And it's not easy, and there are people who will really, really oppose you and try to destroy you. So you just be strong and realize that there are plenty of others who believe as you do and who hold that as a precious truth.
Yeah, that's true.
So what I've been doing here as we've been going through this, I've kind of been showing a few of your pictures from Facebook, and I just want to encourage everybody to send Solomon a friend request. Check out his YouTube channel, Solomon Baidoo, on YouTube, and he's got a lot of good information. He writes articles on Roy's website, which for the life of me, I can't remember the name of that to save my life.
Yeah, what the Bible says.
What the Bible says. There you go. So so he's done. He's doing it, guys. He is throwing it down, picking it up, and keeping on. So it's a good thing. Brother, I want you to know that we love you. Here we are nearly an hour into this, so I really appreciate you sacrificing your time. I know it's late there where you're at, and I know this is a great deal of cost for you, so I appreciate that a lot. So we'll see what we can do to help you out there. And I would encourage anyone else who's listening, check Solomon out. He has got a tremendous amount of great information going on. Let me find another good picture of you here. Hey, you got married recently, is that right?
Yeah. I recently got married.
So, I don't know. Do you have any pictures of your wife on here?
No, not in my. I actually wanted to, hide that, but well, I can private one to you, and you appreciate what happened.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. So that congratulations on that. By the way, we're very thankful for that, and a good wife is certainly a wonderful blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, brother, that puts us at about an hour. I want to thank you so much for doing this. We'll have to get together again, maybe talk about a few more things, and try to see if we can get some video going. I'll see what's going on. Must be a glitch or something on Facebook's end. But so before we get off of here, you have anything else you'd like to say?
Well, like I said, no, I'm not. I'm young, or I'm not that old into covenant eschatology, but I believe that, well, I'm doing my best. Sometimes, you have to combine, farming work. I'm a farmer anyway, but that is what I mostly do. Together with the kingdom work, that is what I do.
I understand completely.
So maybe they should keep us, they should keep me in prayer that God will provide me with ample knowledge and insight into the scriptures, so that I can, propagate, the idea of covenant eschatology or prayerism in Ghana, and to be able to defend it, when I am called upon to do so. And also, well, like I said, I am running two congregations, so, well, if anyone is blessed and they want to help the congregation, well, we will welcome that as well. So apart from that, I believe it's prayers that I need, prayers and strength and knowledge.
Yeah.
I think I'll be able to push, this idea of prayerism into the limelight. See, a lot of people, have heard of what prayerism is, but they misrepresent, the meaning. Okay, so it is up to us to go out there and to explain to them what it actually means. Yeah. So.
Well, amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Well, brother, I like the way you think. I like your attitude. I think you're an asset to the kingdom. I love your work. I love you, brother. You just keep on preaching, and it's good to know that there are men like you out there. Absolutely. I can't thank you enough for just standing for the Lord and His words. So let me say this real quick. Anyone who has read Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21, Luke 17, Revelation, or pretty much any of the New Testament understands covenant eschatology. They just have to learn to explain it away. And that's the sad thing about it. So, okay, well,
all right.
You have a great night. We will keep you in our prayers. And for everybody listening, hey, send him a friend request. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, Solomon Baidoo, on YouTube, and check out some of the good work that he's doing, not only internationally through social media, but also the local work that he's doing. That's where the battle is won or lost, is in the local area. So you just keep on preaching it, brother. You hang in there, and we'll get together again and talk some more of these things out, and you can give us some more reasons why you believe what you do.
All right. So pleasure is mine then.
Okay,
Thank you.
and mine. You have a good night.
Bye. That's it.
Alrighty, bye-bye. Okay, guys, so let me get my screens all squared away here. I just have to say this. Anybody who is willing to take a stand for the truth. Now, keep this in mind. Solomon was the only person in his area who saw this. The only one. And regardless of whether there was someone else that did or not, he was willing to accept it, follow it, believe it, and teach it, regardless of what was going on. And regardless if anyone else would stand with him. We need more people like Solomon Baidoo. We need more men like him who are brave and who are willing to stand up for the truth. And this is not taking a stand on some pet doctrine. This is taking a stand on truth. Jesus said, now get this, Jesus said, I'm coming back in your lifetime. And he just sent me a thank you. Brother, you are so welcome. We'll do it again. That was good. Jesus said, I'm coming back in your lifetime. There's some of you standing here who will not taste death before they see me coming in my kingdom. Now you think about those words. That is, it's just, wow, it's too hard to fathom that you can't understand that in its context. I mean, listen to these words. I got a new Bible here. This one's really thin paper, so I'm almost afraid to turn the pages. But listen to what this says. This is Mark chapter 8, verse 38. For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will also be ashamed of him when he comes in the glory of his Father with his holy angels. Now think about that. He said there are some standing here in this sinful and adulterous generation are going to be ashamed when I come with my Father and the holy angels. But then the next verse, Mark 9, verse 1, Jesus was saying to them, truly I say to you, there are some of those who are standing here who will not taste death until they see the kingdom of God when it has come with power. How much clearer does that get? I mean, how much clearer does that get? Well, it's clear, but it's difficult to accept because people, they just can't accept something that is that simple of a truth. When Jesus said, there'll be some standing here who won't die until they see me coming in my kingdom. Well, they will say, well, that was Pentecost. Was one of their explanations. Well, that was Pentecost when that happened. You got a lot of problems if you're going to say that's Pentecost. Did Jesus come with his angels for judgment and resurrection on the day of Pentecost? That's a real issue. If that's just a real issue. So Matthew 16, listen to this, 27 and 28 says, the Son of Man is about to come. I wish they would have. I have the New American Standard 2020, and I just got this yesterday. My kids bought this. My son bought this for me. My two sons. So anyway, they went in together and got this. So I was really hoping they would have corrected some of these problems, especially with these present tenses, but apparently they didn't. But it should read, the Son of Man is about to come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and will then repay every person according to his deeds. Truly I say to you, there are some of those who are standing here who will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Guys, this is not impossible to understand. And this is what Solomon's fighting for. So I certainly appreciate that from him. And he could use all the help he can get spiritually, physically. And I encourage you to contact him and talk with him, and do what you can to help him and encourage him. So I'm going to go ahead and call this quits for the evening. I certainly appreciate everyone who's watched. Hey, share this video. I know he has a very thick accent from deep in Ghana, but you know something? Here's a bilingual man. He's obviously intelligent, and he's not afraid to teach it and to preach it. Just excellent. I'm just so thankful for him and men like him. So send him a friend request, Solomon Baidoo on Facebook, and Solomon Baidoo on YouTube. So I think you'll be blessed for knowing him. That's it. I'm going to leave you all to it. You enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday night, Lord willing. And we'll get this done again at 8 o'clock. And we got lots of good stuff coming up. So having said that, you all just keep on keeping on, okay? Love you all, and we'll see you next time.